So, so today I would like to share some information on conversational AI. Even though, this is a old terminology, but there have been some latest changes to it in terms of what technologies it can use and what exactly it is. And why do we need conversation? Because it's the nature of humans to have conversations and to communicate, to coordinate, to collaborate. Any work that is being given to a human being, what we do generally in normal cases without AI is that we discuss that with the team. We assign the task to the team. We ask some questions and then we get some responses. And the team performs those tasks and in a collaborative manner, we get that particular task done. That's the reason whenever the AI is introduced, we wanted to have a human to machine interface or human to computers interface. And there's a lot that is on HMI, which is human machine interface, what is going on. I mean, there has been a lot of evolution in that front. Probably we'll not talk about that, but we'll focus the area of conversational AI. Now, if you look at what is a conversational AI, it is a set of technologies. And what kind of technologies? It is definitely the artificial intelligence related technologies that enables or that empowers machines to engage with human-like interactions or dialogues. Or it could also be said that it is a simulation of conversation between two entities, which is one is machine or computers, the other one is human. So the machines are trying to learn how the humans interact, and that is how you can build the conversational AI. Now, is it a single technology? No, it is actually a lot of set of technologies. So prior to Gen AI evolution and existence are the
Hello?
popularity of Gen AI. Yes, please. Okay. Probably if you don't want to talk, if you can kindly mute yourself, that would be better. So prior to Gen AI, and the popularity of it, conversational AI did not include the Gen AI technology. But what exactly it includes, let's have a look at it. It's machine learning. A lot of stuff is machine learning. And then the second one, which is very important, which has been there already in existence for nearly a decade or so, speech recognition. And speech recognition is the technology that is absolutely needed when it comes to establishing conversations with systems or with machines. And then NLU, which we all know, natural language understanding, because if you do not have the technology or those algorithms or those models that does not understand a specific language or the conversation, then you won't be able to get the right responses. NLP, natural language processing, and there are other natural language technologies. So NLT is a vast subject, but these are the two, and there are others as well. We will quickly touch on them as well. And Gen AI. Who doesn't know about Gen AI? Everybody knows about Gen AI. But probably we know it for the sake of using it, not producing it, augmenting it by using them into extended applications. Probably that is where we need to focus because, like I said, even in the past as well, there are hardly few thousands of people or expertise that are available in India, throughout the India, who can produce something. But there are hundreds of thousands or lakhs of people within India who can actually are the users. So we don't need a lot of users. We need users, but we also need to produce. That's the reason if you could have watched whatever has been happening with NVDA. So all the partnerships that the CEO is establishing in India, be it with Reliance, be it with any of the others, what exactly he's trying to do is he's trying to bring in the capability to develop it rather than just using it. And since India is a diversified country, and we definitely would like to capitalize on Gen AI, but not many models are available, or not many flavors are available that support all the languages, because India has got several official languages, depending upon where we live in India. And that's the reason I believe, Reliance has taken an initiative to build Bharat GPT kind of thing, which is, combination of NVIDIA and the other ones combined together. So there is a lot of scope, and we probably might think that, okay, Gen AI, Chat GPT, that is fine. No, but until and unless we take this technology to the rural India of it, I don't think we will be able to see the benefits of it. So that's a great opportunity. Whoever want to maybe work on it, the next set would be the languages. Even internationally as well, there are seldom few LLM models that supports multiple languages. And then RAG. So conversational AI uses all of this. Again, we know RAG is actually complementing a lot of Gen AI stuff. And again, there could be a question that is ChatGPT a conversational AI? Yes and no, because it uses LLM, it uses the Gen AI technology, but it is both. I'm just trying to see whether I can mute us.
I have muted them, Dr. Ahmad.
Okay, thank you. So now the examples of conversational AIs or the virtual assistants that we have been using is Apple Siri. I mean, whoever has Apple phone or devices, they have been using the Siri, and that's a conversation. And you could set up a meeting, you could set up an alarm, you could ask some question, you could have asked certain tasks to be done, such as sending a message, all of that. We have been used to it. Now, it was probably not doing the tasks that are related to the enterprises that are related to our day-to-day job at our workplace. Okay, probably it was not doing all of that, and that is the reason we need some specific conversational AIs. And Alexa is also very popular. I think many people have good experience with Alexa. And now if you have seen, there was Alexa, another one, Rufus, was also introduced by Amazon. So if you are an Amazon app, you would see a conversational AI app there. And Microsoft Copilot is very, very famous, and it has taken a huge lead in the market because they have joined hands with OpenAI's ChatGPT, and that's the reason it has taken leap. And Microsoft Copilot is doing a lot more than enterprise job than the other, be it Amazon Alexa or Siri. And Google's Gemini is also something that is doing certain stuff. IBM Watson X is also a great conversational AI, and these are the examples of it. Again, these are the examples that covers general purpose, most of the general purpose conversational AIs. But what industry is looking at, what enterprises are looking at today is very specific, contextual, pragmatic stuff. That is what the enterprises are looking at. Yeah, just a simple difference between generative AI and conversational AI. What is it? There are some slight differences that we need to know, because not every generative AI is conversational AI and vice versa. So when it comes to generative AI, it is used to generate probably some text, probably some, let me see what is the background noise here. So generative AI is used to generate some text, images, videos, or to generate certain things. Whereas conversational AI is to get the responses in the natural language. You could ask questions in natural language and you could get the responses by identifying the speech pattern, by identifying what is the context, by identifying whatever the formats, and those are the things. So it uses a different one. And again, the training mechanism of both of them is also different. One uses deep neural networks, the other one uses a combination of several technologies, including RAG. So that's a slight difference. And then now, why are we calling these applications are conversational AIs? Why are we not calling them chatbots? Chatbots have been in existence for more than a decade. And what is the difference between chatbots and conversational AI? There's a huge difference. Chatbots are following a pattern or a pre-described structure, and the prompts within the chatbots are going to end at certain point in time. So chatbots are not the machine learning models, though certain features of machine learning can be applied, but most of the time chatbots is actually a procedural prompt mechanism, whereas conversational AI is a machine learning. And chatbots does not learn from whatever the inputs that you are giving and whatever you are feeding in terms of the data sources, whereas conversational AIs learn continuously, even from whatever the conversations it is happening. Those conversations it is learning in the back end all the time. So whatever the inputs that you are giving, sometimes it might give you a different answers, but again it is learning from those patterns, and it is always in a learning mode. So that's a huge difference between it. So that's the reason I never would like to call the latest conversational AI systems as chatbots, because they are definitely not chatbots. Chatbots has very limited confined functionality, whereas conversational AIs have got vast functionality, and they would be able to perform several tasks much better than chatbots. And chatbots are all those questions that have been framed, that have been already statically being placed within a schema or maybe via a program, whereas conversational AI is purely a NLU, NLP, NLG kind of a thing, wherein you could type anything in your natural language. Now, if it supports multiple language, you can actually speak also in other languages, but most probably it understands the natural language. Uh, you know, those are the capabilities of conversational AIs. And just on the natural language technologies, there's a lot on natural language understanding. NLU stands for that. NLP, I mean, probably most of you might be knowing, but I thought let me just throw some light on that. Natural language processing, and then natural language generation, because generation happens whenever you ask something in your natural language, and NLG is the response that you get, and NLQ, natural language queries. Natural language queries Natural language queries are those queries that are not technical, such as if you are aware of SQL queries or any other queries, those are technical queries, but these are the natural language queries. So those are the other technologies that conversational AI possesses. Now, what are the functional areas where these conversational AIs have been very successful? If you now look at it, the top one is customer support. Most of the customer support solutions or applications, they have conversational AI one or the other way. Some of them are at a lower maturity level, some of them are probably at a higher maturity level, but customer support has one or the other form of conversational AI. And most of the contact centers these days are also have been transformed to conversational AIs and CRMs. Most of the popular CRMs have got conversational AIs or SRMs that are specific to an industry or a portal kind of thing. Those are also, and some of the ERPs also brought in the conversational AIs, because according to a survey, conversational AIs can address the common queries of any organization up to 80%. I mean, what does that mean? It means that you do not have to man your customer support, you do not have to man your contact centers, you do not have to man your functional or technical support or any of those queries. I mean, 80% of that can be easily replaced, easily. You can replace that, be it now in terms of ticketing, in terms of employee experience, in terms of any financial queries, in terms of business related queries, in terms of employee awareness, and all those things are now being replaced by conversational AIs. Yes, still several of them, I say majority of them are using chatbots, but there is a paradigm shift in terms of adapting towards conversational AI. And ITSM is a huge one, because IT service management, there are help desks, there are support centers. People used to have thousands of support personnel supporting behind that ITSM help desk, but now it has been reduced, and most of the tasks, the common tasks are being replaced by conversational AI, and which is actually great, because who would like to answer the same query every day 10 times? And ITSM help desk support people had to answer the same thing every day. How do I get access to this, or how can I do that, or how can I get this stuff done, or can you please help me, how can I download this, can you please allow me to access this site, or how can I put this stuff on SharePoint, and all these kind of things, or any of the support tickets can now easily be addressed by conversational AIs, because I firmly believe that whatever the jobs that the human beings were doing as a repetitively, um, were actually not meant to be done by humans. Those were always meant to be replaced by machines or computers, because human beings have have got a lot more capability, and humans possesses creativity, innovation, and a lot of other logical stuff, much more than machines. So we must actually start focusing more onto the creative things, rather than a mundane tasks that we were doing in organizations. So you would see that a lot of conversational AIs are going to take over. And one of the other trends now, what is happening is that every enterprise portal, or every supplier portal, or every organization's portal, be it for the employee experience, or be it for customer experience, be it for any business processes, all of them are focusing on building the conversational AIs. So that's wholesome about conversational AIs, why we need to get into this domain, and why we need to start. Oh, goodness, there's a lot of background noise. Okay. So, conversational AIs for the next 5 years are going to evolve even further. And by 2030, we are going to see, at least 4 times more conversational AIs than what we have currently. And this is from one of the surveys. Uh, okay, let me continue. So, what are the foundations or foundational elements for conversational AIs? Why people still do not believe the conversational AIs, and how should we bring in lot more assurance from the humanity to believe the machines? Because many times we have seen, be it in our organizations or with our customers, that the moment we talk about conversational AI, they say that, no, it's just a machine, man. I mean, it does not understand um, what I mean. So to bring in a lot more context, as well as the pragmatic application of it, what are those things that we need to look at? There are several of them, but I picked up a few of them. The first thing is the trust. The trust factor, the trust factor is lacking when it comes to conversational AIs. Why? Because whatever the queries that have been answered by conversational AIs are not trustworthy. So we, whoever are contributing towards developing conversational AIs, we need to build trust out of it. How can you build trust? Which means that all the natural language responses or generations that you are doing, that must be on trusted data. Now, such as if somebody says that I would like to uh, post this particular transaction today, can I do it tomorrow? Then immediately it says that, sorry, tomorrow is a holiday, you won't be able to do it tomorrow. But that holiday is a global holiday, is not that holiday does not apply to the organization. Then you immediately lose the trust, saying that, you see, my conversational AI is giving me wrong information because it is not built on trusted data. So those are the small nuances that that actually, you know, gives human beings non-confidence in the conversational AIs. So trust is one of the important things. So whenever we are building conversational AIs, and I'm sure many of us would get involved in building conversational AIs, be it within our enterprises. If not, maybe, this is something that's going to be, in boom for the next 5 to 6 years. So probably you must learn that as well. So building any AI for that matter, we need to establish trust. And if we do not establish trust mechanism, then people will not rely on our AI model, or they will not rely on our AI application. And since conversational AI is an AI application, we need to build out of trusted data with the right data quality, which is with a verified sources. You cannot just do a scraping from the website and build conversations on that, because who knows whether the data is correct or not? Who knows that data is still relevant or not? So the trust is one of the factors that we need to establish. Then the second thing is the security. And if you are asking certain things, and if those queries have been are being exposed to others, then immediately you would lose the confidence, saying that, yeah, whatever I'm talking to my conversational AI or my bot, it is actually telling others, or it is revealing it to others. That's one way of security. Then the other one is also, when we talk about security, and if you would like to know what exactly are the queries that I asked, can you please show me how did it performed? Can you please explain to me? Then there must be a transparency with regards to that. Then there must be integrity with regards to that. That's one. Then the other one is that no customer data should be collected or stored within the repositories. If you are if we do that if we do that, people will lose trust and assurance from the conversational AI solutions or applications. Then the third one is ethical. All the models need to be ethical. What does it mean? It does not need to have any biasness. And why the models are failing, why people are not taking it to production? Because they are not ethical. I mean, ethical from the perspective of how did you program that, how did you made sure that that model has learned unbiasedness, such as it could be a gender bias, it could be a community bias, it could be a categoric bias, it could be any other bias. So it should actually not have any biasness towards any specific characteristic or perspective. So that's the ethicalness of it. And then whatever the data that you are collecting, whatever the data that you are training, whatever the data that you are putting in production for learning and generating a natural language responses, I mean that must also be ethical. You cannot take somebody else data and build the conversational AI in that. As long as it is the data that is being authorized to be used to you, then you use it, otherwise not. And again, if you are also curating the data, which is nothing but creating some data, in that case as well, ensure that data that whatever the data that you are curating or synthetic data that you are generating, that is only fit for purpose. It's not, overdoing it or underdoing that. So those are the aspects that we need to bring as part of the foundation. And then the fourth one, which we have to take care of this even more, because contextuality is important. Probably if I am asking a question, can you urgently tell me what were the sales last year, and can you please tell me the sales last year? Both of them have got a different natural language context. In one case I'm saying that can you urgently tell me, which means that it need to hurry up, it need to give me the summary of it. Whereas if I ask a question, can you please tell me, how was my sales last year? Then it could give you much more than that, because that is how the human conversations are being done. So when you use a word urgent, you need a quick summary of it or some numbers of it. Whereas when you say that, can you please walk through the sales, then it has to give you all the analytics, in-depth analytics of that. So context is important. Probably this is what we are missing in the market today. And I personally believe that 7 out of 10 conversational AI applications are not understanding these smaller or little nuances in the context of natural language, because it has to strike with natural language. And that's why we need to bring in pragmatism, which means that the practicality of it, contextualization, in which context are you using, such as it could be that, can you please tell me how were the sales for India? And immediately it gives you not so good sales, and then you say that, seems like we are not doing well. Then it should come back saying that though the sales in India are not good, but elsewhere in other countries sales are better, because that is how it need to understand the context. And if conversational AIs don't understand that particular context, then it cannot be a conversational AI. It would again become just a chatbot kind of thing. And bottom line from a conversational AI, design the conversational AIs, build the conversational AIs to accelerate the productivity and efficiency, which means that to improve it, to have the accuracy of it, and it must create exponential value. It cannot be just two times, three times. It needs to be exponential value. And if your conversational AI can create exponential value, everybody around the enterprise will start trusting it. And again, at the end of the day, your project is as successful as it is adapted, as it is used by those stakeholders for whom you have developed. And if nobody adapts it, yes, you might have a wonderful product, but nobody adapts it, then it would be a failure. So it all depends on user adoption. It all depends on those stakeholders' adoption. So let's think from the conversational AI's perspective. Let us build something that can be easily adapted, that can also be easily trained itself. It is intuitive, it is contextual, and it is more pragmatically answering the questions. Again, within your enterprise applications in conversational AIs, you do not have to consider the general purpose ones, such as, how can I make coffee, or how to go, from where to get this coffee, and those kind of things. So you, we don't have to. Sorry, there was some background noise. So we do not have to consider the general purpose one. It needs to be contextual. And why I felt that this is the topic that would make sense, because everybody is building chatbots, everybody is building some conversational AIs, but those conversational AIs are not being successful, just because those are not built from these foundational elements. Now, again, this is from Gartner. Source is Gartner for this. What are the capabilities that define CAI solutions, which is conversational AI solutions? What are the capabilities? You know, something is core operations. Like I said, from the core operations perspective, privacy, security, and compliance, such as, let me give you one example. And if somebody is asking conversational AI about, can you please tell me why did I got paid less than last month? And then if it asks you the right questions to validate your identity, and then only it reveals, then that's the right way of building the conversational AI. The moment you say that, yeah, I am XYZ, can you please tell me how much salary did I, got last month? And if it gives you answer, then that's not the right, conversational AI application, because what it is doing, it's actually without authenticating, without checking the privacy, security, and compliances of your organization. It is immediately giving you that answer. So it need to validate certain things, and that is something that we need to build in. And many a times, what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing within the organizations is that the data that it is sharing with others, that was confidential data, that was the data that was not meant to be shared with certain profiles or certain level of employees. So we need to be very careful about that. And then the other core operational capabilities perspective is analytics. Analytics is something that conversational AIs can do absolutely better. I mean, such as, like I said, can you please share the trends of the sales, or can you please share the trends of how many interviews we have done in the last quarter and how many of them were successful? I mean, all these questions can be asked very quickly, rather than a human being goes through it, or maybe go through a dashboard, or maybe an Excel file, or maybe a table, and then writes a query. Rather than that, these are the core capabilities that every conversational AI application should have. And apart from that, those are the core stuff. But apart from that, there should be some extensions. And now here comes the Gen AI capabilities that you can bring in. Here comes the natural language understanding capabilities that you can bring in, such as dialogue management, how you are interacting or exchanging your views with the system. I mean, that's the dialogue management. Maybe my tone is better, my tone is little bit disappointed, or my tone is pleasant, or am I asking in a normal fashion, or am I agitated, am I little bit nervous? And all these small nuances, it has to capture, it has to understand. If it does not understand all of that, it would be difficult. And at one point in time, there could be several questions that might have been posted to the model by different users, and that could be a multi modal interaction, or multi-channel interaction. So in all those cases, it cannot be saying that, okay, I'm just working on this, give me some time because I'm working on other users query. It cannot say that. So those are the things that we need to bring in as part of the capabilities for conversational AI. Now, when it comes to the Gen AI capabilities, it is actually augmenting, it is actually, giving a lot of power to conversational AI, because most of the times also, some of the queries that human beings are asking or human beings need are also related to Gen AI specific as well. And again, I'm not talking about general purpose Gen AIs that are maybe, Copilot or those. I'm talking about very specific enterprise oriented Gen AI applications. So there are different prompts for that. There are, different models for that. All those also you can bring into conversational AIs. So the bottom line, what we are saying is that don't just look at only the core capabilities, but always look at the extended capabilities by using different technologies such as natural language technologies as well as the LLM or the Gen AI technologies. Bring that also into conversational AI solutions. And this is what Gartner is saying. And according to Gartner, by 2032, I think the total market value for conversational AIs is going to be upwards of 30 billion or so, and which is actually a great market. And 30 billion is not a small market. Now, from the architecture perspective, conversational AI, platform architecture, how it should be. Again, the source here is Gartner rather than I draw my own architecture. I'm referring the Gartner architecture. If you look at conversational AI platforms, whatever the platforms that are available, there are several of them. Those whoever are working with SAP, they might have experienced Joule. Joule is a conversational AI co-pilot kind of thing. And those who have used are using Microsoft ERP or CRMs, they are already using Copilot. And whoever are using IBM enterprise applications, they are already using Watson X. So those are the enterprise level conversational AIs that several people are using it. And what is the simple architecture for that? Now, if you look at it, from the input output channel perspective, and from where it is being embedded, it could be from a website perspective, or it could be from a messaging platform perspective, or it could be from a device perspective, or it could also be some personal devices in security as well as in terms of communication. And conversational AI platform, how does that look? If you look at it, that's the channel integration comes in, and then you have NLU, because you definitely need to understand that particular dialogue that is coming in from there. And then there is a decision engine, which is built on several ML models, and then you have the information from the backend sources, whatever the sources that you have, but all these sources get integrated there, and then you would get a response from that. So that's where the NLU and NLG are actually working. And in case of some exceptions, error handling, you have exception handling, and then there is another layer which is a contextual awareness layer. Then this is what I mentioned in my earlier slide, because if you do not bring in contextual layer, then your conversational AIs will not be very much successful. And then there are other technical stuff. I'm not sure how many of you are aware of all these things, but there's a lot more going behind that. But again, this is an architecture. I thought that let me present an architecture slide going forward. I mean, this must be something on which we can build our conversational AIs. So now let me bring you to a reality of it. What did we do as PiLog? Because PiLog is a global organization. We have a data quality and governance solution. And what did we build? We built AI Lens, and this is PiLog's Copilot. And when we started building this early this year, we said that it has to be like, again, it's an application of conversational AI that simulates human-like conversations, engages in answering queries, empowering users. See, the aspect here is empower the users rather than not focusing on the knowledge component of it. So we focused on the knowledge component of it, empowering users with augmented processes, because everything is not just a plain query. Everything is a different thing. Somebody raised the hand.
Yes,
And
hi, Sayed. Yes, I do have a questions on this topic. See, when there's a point that it mentions that AI guides like a subject matter expert. So are we having any kind of a simulation test conducted before it is put onto the production environment? What sort of trainings I would say to the machine, how it gets matured day in day out? So what are the data is being fed to that? So
Yeah,
can you just shed some light on that, please?
I will do that. I will do that. So it guides or empowers users like a subject matter expertise, and then provides insights on different data points. And I have now the use cases that I will elaborate more on it. Be it pivoting the data, and it's really having more than 100 use cases we are covering, out of which 20 use cases have already been put it into production. How we did it, I will explain that as well. And again, the process augmentation is something, it takes care of it. Validation of the data, input data, it takes care of it. Establishing quality or qualitative parameters, it takes care of that. It is per domain when I say, because data is referred as different domains. It could be a customer domain, it could be a location domain, it could be employee domain, it could be several domains. And the nice thing about this application that we developed and deployed in production is that it is configurable, which means that once you have the model there, if you would like to integrate any of the use cases, you would be able to integrate it without disturbing whatever has been deployed. So it is a modular approach in there, and also it is configuration related. So everything comes as an API to it. We will just deep dive into that. This is definitely a PiLog's proprietary solution that we built. So it's not somebody else AI model that we have taken it. We have taken a vertical LLM, um, which I explained, I think, in my previous session, what is horizontal and vertical LLMs. We have taken that, which is a scale down or not large model, it's a smaller model, because we needed context only to address our area of expertise rather than everything general purpose. And then it's a Gen AI approach is also there. Is it fully everything Gen AI? No, Gen AI is probably 20%, and rest of the things are different other machine learning models are there. So we have an ethical model. What do we mean by ethical model? The data from where we are collecting, the data that we are training, the accuracy that we are aiming at, and all those things goes through a proper ethical test, which means what is the data, from where the data is coming from, and what is the authenticity of the data, what is the accuracy of the data. And this data can be actually put it into a schema, and then the RAG, which everybody knows, RAG takes place. RAG is something that is helping us come up with the quicker answers and explainable answers. And it's a pragmatic model. Again, we took the practical examples of it, and we did a research internally across our customer base, because we have hundreds of large enterprises who had thousands of queries, and we asked them what exactly you would like to see being addressed by the conversational AI. So we conducted a specific survey, and we took the sampling from that, and then we figured out close to 100 use cases, and then we started developing it. So it's not something that can work for everything. Some specific use cases we have taken. I will also, shed some light on that. And it is NLP model, because if it is not an NLP model, then it's not a conversational AI, and fully configurable, like I mentioned. Now, the data, from where the data is coming, since this domain is specifically data quality and data governance. When we talk about these two things definitely need some standards. What are the standards? ISO standards are required. So we took those standards as references And whatever that standards are describing and prescribing, we have taken those schemas. So the data is already in that format, and we needed taxonomies, we needed some semantic layers, and we needed repositories. So millions of records that we curated, that we built, not somebody else built. We built over the last 7, 8 years. We had that. We took all of that, and we always have taken a context, a use case, and we tested it with various queries from different perspectives, different dimensions. And once we achieve a accuracy level of 80 plus percent, we started moving it into the environment where larger audience can play with it, and then it moves into the production. It is very expensive. The reason for that is the moment in your architecture, if you have um, Gen AI, LLM, it is expensive because of the infrastructure. It is not because of anything else. We have data science teams who have contributed heavily in terms of building different models. And again, we are not, overloading all the models at point in time. That's where the configuration comes in. So if you are asking about just one use case, if you are asking about from, this is probably a valve, and again, this is a domain specific. From where can I buy this kind of valve with this specification? So the model goes out, searches on internet, and pulls up a map, and it tells you that these are the locations from where you can procure it. Or another use case is that, can you please tell me in the last 12 months, how many times we have procured this product, and what were the prices, who are the vendors? Then it brings in that pivoted data, and it shows you the analytics. So these are the specific use cases. So it covers simple analytics, it covers extended analytics. When I say simple analytics, within the database, within the schema, that is stored in OLAP schema. But when it comes to extended analytics, it goes and connects with the ERP systems or the SRM systems and pulls in the data, because your spend is not happening from your master data or data quality system. It is happening from your ERP system. So it does that as well. And if you have more than one instance, then it brings in from there as well, because we have readily deployable APIs. I mean, we were having APIs for more than a decade now to interact with our connected systems. Again, we are using the same power of that APIs to integrate it. And we have real-time data, as well as we have stage integration as well with SAP or any of the other ERP systems. When I say real-time data, if you are asking a question in real time, such as that, can you please tell me most recent purchase done last month? I mean, that's near real time, or maybe this week, near real time. Whereas if you say that in the last 5 years, how many times I have procured this, I have purchased this product, that comes from a stage environment, because that has not changed, more recently. That's the reason. So you have a different types of integration. When I say guide as subject matter expertise here, it's the engineering. I mean, we are supporting the organizations in their engineering functions, procurement functions, supply chain functions, and we have trained our conversational AI to answer anything related to that, such as what do you mean by lead time, and what is the least lead time within my enterprise, for what is the product for which I have highest lead time, or can you please give me the vendors that are from Europe, and what is my spend from from the vendors from a different region. And again, all these are the things that you can do. And qualitative validations is another one, wherein the moment you are inputting the data, it tells you that no, this could not, this cannot be the right thing, it could be something else, so please fill in, and it gives you some examples of it. So it is a co-pilot. It is exactly a co-pilot which is pinned into your user interface onto the right side, occupying about 15 to 16% of your UI. And it can be enlarged, it can be minimized, And the moment you are asking, or whenever you are clicking this icon is placed on several features within the, or functional features within the UI. When you click on it, it immediately comes up. You do not have to call it. And then in certain cases, it has triggers or sensors in place that on what event it must actually pull up the conversational AI or AI lens. So that's what we have done. Process augmentation is something, it actually does a lot of validations and skips some of the validation steps, and it augments it with AI, saying that AI lens has checked your data, it looks good. You do not have to go via approver, wait for approver, because your data seems to be correct. So those are the kind of things, and there, like I said, there are hundreds of use cases that we have figured out, and there are 20 plus that we deployed in the production. Again, everything is been interacting via the APIs. Now, with the latest technologies coming in, we need to keep evolving this. We need to keep improving this, because if we don't do it, then it would be difficult for it to survive. Just one example I would like to give. In one of the large enterprises, to create 100 records, qualitative records, it used to take 3 days. Now they can do that under an hour using this AI lens. And that's the value addition or value creation that we have done when it comes to the productivity and efficiency. So just thought that I'm not just talking all the time theory. It is something that is my own project, our own project, PiLog's project, that we built it, we deployed it, it is in production, and it has created a wow factor for us already. I think that's it for today. I mean, this is really my favorite topic. And if there are any questions, I'm eager to answer, and if there are any suggestions, I'm eager to learn as well.
Is there any existing solution or any sort of that interface using which we can use it as a personal assistance or for small and medium business users?
What we are doing now is that, since we have seen great success and traction for this, we are developing it as a individual app, not connected or not embedded into a solution, that you should be able to use it as a widget on your desktop for an enterprise. That is where we are going. We had several discussions with researchers and the analysts from Gartner and Infotech. Probably we will move in that direction. At that point in time, it would be available. You can download that. You would know what models it is using, and you can connect and you can integrate that with any of your enterprise applications directly. And that's what we want to do. But we again do not want to build a lot of functionality that already the ERP vendors are building, because everybody will go for an embedded conversational AI when the ERP vendors are building it. But this is for the small enterprises or medium enterprises. This is what is our vision. But it would take another 2 quarters easily. At this point in time, it is not available. But there's another solution, which is Smart IG, which is for the data analytics integration and migration. Probably that would come out, which has got another conversational AI. We gave the name as Mirai, Mirai, Mirai. If you connect with me, I will share maybe the credentials for you to test it, try it after a few weeks.
Can you please come again with the name?
Mirai, Mirai. It has some a decent meaning. It's a foreign term. Mirai is the conversational AI name, and the application where we have integrated that is Smart Integraphics, which is for analytics integration and data migration. But again, it would take another easily 2 to 3 weeks before we can, put it on a trial for everybody.
Okay. Thank you for that. One last question. Can I just go ahead?
Please go ahead.
Okay, so just wanted to check since AI is the buzzword that is going on, and since you're in the field, so how can one see a career in the AI stream, specifically into conversational AI or Gen AI or something like that? uh, Thinking of building a business at the end. For example, the people what they are thinking on, if he is from a front end or a back end expertise, or if he is working on the web development side or the mobile application development side. So how can he tend his career towards these
The
streams?
Yeah, the first thing is that understanding AI is important, and every developer need to have at least 50% of their work augmented by AI. And if they are not doing it, then they are not ready for AI learning even new. So if they don't use it, and within our organization, we have set up 3 months time. If we cannot have the productivity and efficiency augmented by AI 30%, then we have to take some strong steps towards it. So learning is the only thing. And again, I might say that please learn this now, but in a week or two it will change. It's going very fast, but something that is going to be staying here is ML, machine learning models is going to stay here. NLT, natural language technologies, is here to stay. It's not going away because humans will exist as long as machines exist. So we need to strike that conversation. So those are the things that we can, again, other ones, neural networks, deep learning, all these are the things that are even at a higher level. But start with the NLTs, start with Gen AI models, start with machine learning models. Those are here to stay. And again, for professionals like us as well, if we are not learning every week about 6 to 8 hours, we are falling behind. Any other questions? Saif Saab, any other
Dr. Imad,
questions? Yeah.
as you mentioned earlier, so the tools that you are developing,
Mhm.
are you also planning some Indic language support for that?
Yeah.
That would be really helpful.
Yeah. It is little bit further away, but definitely we have it. One of the more demands that I have seen for the language support is in Middle East. In our Saudi customers, our Middle East customers, they are asking for Arabic one, and in the same way, some of our customers from North India, they are asking for local language support. So definitely we are looking at a couple of languages. One is Hindi, the other one is Arabic. That's in the pipeline, but there would be much more languages to come in. We might partner with some of the others as well to bring in that NLU and NLP capabilities within this, because building everything on our own is not going to give us sustainability.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. So thank you very much for everybody's time. Hope you would benefit from this. And if there are any questions or anything, you have the forum here via which you can ask questions. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Dr. Ahmad. Thanks for your time. Nice listening to you. Okay, with this, we close this session. Thanks, everyone. Jazakumullah khair.